Joining us live from Washington to talk about this, the spokesperson for Concerned Veterans for America and a former Army helicopter pilot in her own right, Amber Barno. Amber, it is so good to have you here this morning on America's Forum.
Thanks for having me. You
bet. Now, this whole decision by DOD to bring in illegals, even as some American fighting men and women are given pink slips. How does this strike you?
Well, it's definitely a controversial policy because of the significant downsize that's happening right now. Captains and majors are being given the pink slip inside Afghanistan. You know, we just started a new war with ISIS, and so it's just not sending the best message to our troops right now who are still involved in combat that, hey, we're going to get rid of you, but we're going to allow some illegal aliens to come in. But there's sort of two sides to this story. You also have to look at it in terms of the military is needing these very rare skill sets that some of these illegal aliens have to fill the needs of the military. So that's probably very specialized linguists in terms of Arabic, Pashto, Persian, Chinese, and some of the rare dialects that go along with those languages, and also very specialized healthcare people.
Yeah, but Amber, do you think those prerequisites are really going to be upheld, or instead is this just the first phase of a broader government-wide effort to create, quote, new paths to citizenship?
Well, that's definitely where the controversy part comes in, because on some sides people are seeing it as this is sort of opening the door to some broader immigration reform. But in terms of looking at it on a national security military side, these positions are limited to 1,500 people per year. So the illegal aliens who are applying for these positions, they have to fill out a 127-page form, and then they're competing against other foreign-born personnel that are inside the country, documented, so they have a green card or they're here on a student visa. So those are the type of people they're going to be competing against for those 1,500 slots. So it's not a guarantee, it's not a free-for-all where if you're an illegal alien, you can sign up for the military and suddenly become a U.S. citizen. It's not as simple as that.
Amber, you mentioned that the new program reportedly is capped at 1,500 recruits every year, but do you think that number could grow?
Well, definitely in terms of opening the door, I think it could, but over 92,000 foreign-born personnel have basically become citizens since 2001 through this military program. So people have been serving in the military that are not United States citizens for a very long time. And if these people want to serve the United States military and put on the uniform and basically put their life on the line for this country, then they should be expedited to become citizens.
Well, Amber, of course, if it occurred in a vacuum and you could do all the relevant checks, I don't think many people would disagree with you. Here's the concern. You quite correctly point out that those who have not been citizens have served in our military with distinction before. Heretofore, they have been green card holders or those who have come on work visas or student visas and, in fact, have been able to earn citizenship in the United States by serving in the military. But now you add a new dimension with illegals, people who have broken the law coming here in the first place. If they broke the law then, what's to really show these guys are going to be loyal, or could it mean the start of an inadvertent fifth column among aliens serving in the military?
Well, it definitely sort of opens the door to even broader policy. The Pentagon, though, has even pushed back against saying, you know, we don't want we don't want illegal aliens to basically come in and have this free path to citizenship. That is not the answer. We get when there's these specialized skills that are benefiting the United States military and our national security interests, that's where the exception is being made. And also in terms of these people coming in the country and breaking the law illegally, yes, but some of the stipulations here are that they had to have entered the country when they were younger than 16 years old. They have to have either a high school diploma or a GED, and they have to have a clean record. They do a background check. So most of what we're talking about, people who qualify for those 1,500 slots to even apply, they had to come in illegally as children.
Well, we will note all of that, Amber, and we appreciate the fact that you have stayed on top of this and offering your thoughts as well. Of course, the concern we have is that somehow, some way, what may be needed militarily may give way to political considerations, and given the unfortunate record of the current administration, I think you can share that fear. Amber Barno, checking in from Washington, D.C. this morning. We thank you so much for your time. Take good care. Well, let's turn the page on history, if we might, going to the high point of Jimmy Carter's presidency. It's the Camp David Peace Accords, the subject of this American moment.
It's a region of the world that has known little peace since the beginnings of recorded history. But in September of 1978, President Sadat of Egypt, Prime Minister Begin of Israel, and President Carter of the United States set out to change that. Initiated by the Egyptian leader's proclamation that he would be willing to travel anywhere, even Jerusalem, to seek peace, President Carter persuaded the two former enemies to meet with him at Camp David to seek a lasting peace. On the 17th of September, 1978, the Camp David Accords were signed, returning the Sinai to Egypt and creating a framework by which Palestinians could have autonomous and self-governing control over the West Bank and Gaza. During the announcement, President Carter was clear more work needed to be done.
The questions that have brought warfare and bitterness to the Middle East for the last 30 years will not be settled overnight.
In 1978, President Anwar Sadat and Prime Minister Menachem Begin were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Jimmy Carter's Nobel Prize would come later in 2002 for his decades of work seeking solutions to international conflicts. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.
Khan here again with your Newsmax Now update. President Obama says James Clapper, the head of the CIA, underestimated the rise of ISIS. The president's remarks came during an interview on CBS's 60 Minutes. Mr. Obama also says the U.S. put too much faith in the Iraqi army. Later today, prosecutors are expected to file charges against a man accused of beheading a woman and stabbing another at a food distribution center in Oklahoma. And hundreds of flights had to be canceled at Chicago's O'Hare and Midway airports yesterday. This after a disgruntled employee set fire to an FAA traffic control center last week. Full service is expected to resume at Chicago's airports by mid-October. And in Japan, a search and rescue mission was abandoned today due to rising levels of toxic gases. Nearly 40 people are presumed dead.